Castana. Could I have a roll call, please?
Absolutely. I am present. Ms. Grisomkowski.
Here.
Mr. Dimick. Here. Ms. Ryan.
Here.
Ms. Dodd.
Here.
Ms. Cotter.
Here.
Mr. Wiseman.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Everyone stand, if you're able, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Where's the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion for the approval of the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All right. Motion made by Member Dodd, seconded by Member Ryan. Any questions, comments, or proposed changes? Seeing none, could I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Dodd.
Yes.
Ms. Ryan.
Yes.
I am a yes. Ms. Grisomkowski.
Yes.
Ms. Cotter.
Yes.
Mr. Dimick.
Yes.
And Mr. Wiseman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Prior to the meeting, I'd like to read the following statement. As a school board, we appreciate the members of our community who share their public comments during the designated times on our meeting agenda. This is an important opportunity for the Board of Education to hear from the community. However, it is not a time for two-way communication. A regular meeting of the Board of Education is designated for the board to conduct the business of the Huron Valley Schools in open session in accordance with the Open Meeting Act. Comments that require follow-up investigation or communication will be handled by the superintendent or a member of his team as designated. There are two segments in the agenda for public comments, in Section 3 and Section 7, respectively. 15 minutes have been allocated in Section 3 for public comments related to action or voting items or non-action items if time allows. The Board of Education will allocate more than 15 minutes in Section 3 prior to the board meeting as it relates to voting on action items. All comments on non-action items will take place during Section 7 of the agenda if not already heard in Section 3. All speakers wishing to address the board must be present. All individuals will be given an opportunity to speak. Each individual delivering public comments will have 3 minutes to share their communication. Individuals may only speak once and cannot share unused time with another person. A timer will be displayed on the screen so individuals can monitor their time. Once 3 minutes have elapsed, the timer will sound, indicating that public comment has concluded, and the microphone will be turned off in preparation for the next speaker. The individual must be present, as I said before, to share public comments. We ask that you share your name, address, and home school district before sharing your comments. Furthermore, we request that you refrain from name-calling or mentioning the names of specific employees, persons, or students within your public comments. Comments must be related to school business and may not include personal attacks unrelated to school business. If you make such comments, the Board of Education President will, to the extent permitted by the First Amendment, interrupt or end your comment time. If you plan to share public comments, please complete the form at the back of the room and give your form to Ms. Cadell, seating to my far left. Thank you for your professionalism and partnership. And at the present time, I have 3 public comments that looks to me like they are on non-agenda items, but because I only have 3, these individuals will have an opportunity to speak within Section 3. Next is communications from the board president. The only thing I have is that this is our last, I can't believe it, meeting of the summer before our students return. We have our next board meeting in September after school has started. So I welcome back many of our staff members, but at the same time, I want to say thank you to all of our staff members that have worked diligently throughout the summer in preparation for the 24-25 school year. We are a 24/7 operation, and just because our students have a little bit of time off during the summer to recharge, and some of our staff, that doesn't mean that the rest of the district isn't working very feverishly to get ready for the 24-25 year. In fact, we have a lot of our professional staff that might not be in front of students who spend a tremendous amount of time in preparation for the 24-25 school year, and that's our teachers and other staff members. We have a number of staff members that are already back in our buildings. Our administrators are back. I know that there's already been some leadership meetings being held as we as a district are planning. I know that our teachers are anxious and come in very early sometimes to get their rooms ready for our kiddos. So please, as a community, be aware that our students are going to be at bus stops. Our big yellow buses are going to be out there. Make sure you're aware of what the laws are as it relates to making certain that our students are safe. We look forward to a great 24-25 school year, and we really look for tremendous gains as it relates to instruction for our students and continuing providing quality opportunities for not only our students, but for our staff. And I know that we have a number of new staff members that are going to be joining us, and I do want to say thank you. I truly know that you made the right decision, and in fact, tonight we're going to have the pleasure of being introduced to a couple of new principals by Dr. Salah. So with that recognition, I do not believe at this time we have any Huron Valley Heroes or Huron Valley highlights, correct, Dr. Salah?
That's correct.
And school presentations will begin once school is back in session. So with that, I'm going to move down to Superintendent's Communication, and I'll turn it over to our Superintendent, Dr. Salah.
Thank you, President Wiseman, and good evening to all those who are here in the audience and to those who are watching at home. I have 5 items for you this evening as we embark upon the 24-25 school year. It's always an exciting time of year. Administrators are back. Things are sort of getting back in motion. The wheels are getting greased, if you will, and we're moving straight to that first day of school. It's an exciting time of year, and we're all very excited about the upcoming school year. First and foremost, I wanted to give a shout out and acknowledge Nanette Ryan. Nanette works in our business office. I received a letter regarding Nanette. Nanette completed through the Michigan School Business Officials the Business Manager Academy program through Mecosta Osceola ISD. This program reflects a high degree of participation, mentoring with peers and facilitators and hand-on application of school business skills. Really proud of Nanette. It's an 11-month commitment in addition to all of her day-to-day responsibilities. You've heard me say this time and time again. We are very fortunate, very blessed to hire very high-quality candidates in the Huron Valley Schools, folks who are committed to a high-quality education for our students, whether they are teachers working in front of children or they are secretary working in the central office. We are grateful for what every single person does because they are contributing to a mission that is much greater than the single individual. And so, Nanette, I hope you see this at some point. Congratulations, we're proud of you. Thanks for everything you do on behalf of the Huron Valley Schools. Also received a notification, this is pretty neat, that Barb Rothler, our Director of Communications and Community Relations, is being inducted into the Central Michigan University Hall of Fame for the College of Arts and Media for her ongoing contributions and professional work, not only in her previous roles through the news and media, but certainly in her role as the Director of Communications and Community Relations for the Huron Valley Schools. I think it's just a testament to the work that we do here in the school district and, again, to the caliber and quality of people that we hire. Congratulations, Barb. We are happy for you, and you just keep on working hard for us. So I mentioned welcome back. Just to give you all a sort of a snapshot in terms of what we have upcoming over the next several weeks. Tomorrow I have the pleasure of welcoming back our secretaries and office coordinators. Spend some time with them. Board members, I know our committee meetings are in full swing. We have a TLT meeting tomorrow. We have a communications and community relations meeting tomorrow. We have our administrative retreat, which is a 2-day retreat. I don't know why we call it a retreat. We don't actually go anywhere. We're here in district, and we spend 2 days engaged in professional learning, networking, and really preparing for next steps as we tackle the upcoming school year. This year in particular, as our board members know, there have been some changes in evaluation law that require prior to September that all administrators that will be evaluating teachers participate in what we call inter-rater reliability training, which basically ensures that our administrators are rating performance of teachers consistently, regardless of what building they're in order to ensure that we have consistency across the board. So what is effective instruction is effective instruction regardless of where you work, and not just based on the evaluator that you have. So we are engaging in that training, a full day of training on August the 15th. We have a new teacher orientation coming up on August 21st. I know there are a couple of events that day. If board members are available, I know our new teachers would love to see you and meet you. For some context this year, I've been told that our record in terms of hiring for HVEA is 52 employees, and to date, we are at 37 new employees to the HVEA, and we have 8 more that are going through the onboarding process. So quick math tells me that's 45. It could be fathomable that we could get close to that record this year. And so we've seen a lot of folks hit that magic retirement year and are riding off into the sunset, but I'm pleased to report that we've had a lot of really great candidates waiting in the wings. And I think it just goes to show that Huron Valley Schools is a destination school district. I will tell you that when I attend superintendent meetings across the county and throughout the state, they are having a very different conversation than we're having. Because we are able to fill our positions, because we are a destination school district, whereas many are having difficulty filling positions. And I feel really great this year in particular because we are finding social workers, which has been a challenge the last couple of years. And speech and language has also been a challenge, and we've been able to fill some of those vacancies, so that's great. Maintenance and operations will be doing their annual training on August 21st. We have opening day for all staff members in the district on August 27th. I'm excited this year. We are going to spend some time talking about the instructional vision of the Huron Valley Schools. I will have an opportunity to spend about an hour with all instructional staff in the district talking about the systems and the processes that we have in place as it relates to carrying out that instructional vision, as well as ensuring that we have systems in place that ensure continuous improvement, meaning why do we have our PLC structure in place? How does that dovetail with our collaborative inquiry process? How are we using data across the system to help us inform and make decisions about the instructional practices that we have within the school district, and how are we enriching and intervening when students have either mastered the content or they're continuing to struggle with the content. So what does our Tier 2 and Tier 3 look like? And then finally, of course, ensuring that we have a consistent, guaranteed, and viable curriculum across the board. So we're gonna spend some time talking about all of that in 60 minutes. And you guys know how I like to talk. So we'll see if that's even possible. But I'm excited about spending that time with our team. September 3rd, we welcome kiddos back, and as Mr. Wiseman has said, the buses will be rolling. So I wouldn't be surprised if you actually start to see the buses rolling a little bit early, because sometimes that is a reminder to our families that if you haven't registered, you need to make sure you register and get your kiddos ready to go to school. That's right. So that is 3 of my 5. So number 4, I wanted to provide an update, as I've done the last several months, regarding the Spring Mills situation that we've continued to work through as a school district. As of this evening, as I sit here, I still have not heard anything from the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office. Did speak with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office last week, and they had not heard anything new. So that case still remains with the prosecutor. Last month, I shared some information regarding Title IX and Title IX processes. We had some public comment made, and I want to circle back on some of the next steps that we've taken, just so that our board and everyone in our listening audience has all the same information. So last meeting, I shared that we would be happy to reopen the Title IX investigation for any families that wanted to participate. Ms. Wenger did send a communication to all of those families, and we offered to take the care house interviews rather than interviewing the children and the families directly. At this point, we have had a couple of those folks reach back to us and say that they are interested in pursuing that as an option. We have not received anything at this point, but again, that remains open to our families that are interested in sharing the care house interviews with us so that we could handle the Title IX investigation in that way. But at this point, we have not received anything to date. Finally, we had some questions regarding process and laws being followed, and there were even some quotes from the law being read. And I just wanted to share, as I shared last meeting, that we would engage the board's legal counsel to communicate directly with the board regarding the steps that were followed, the processes as it relates to Title IX investigations, and all appropriate laws. I believe it was last week, I sent a communication to the entire board from your legal counsel that walked through all of the legal aspects of this particular case, this Title IX investigation, as well as the steps that Ms. Wenger took as the Title IX coordinator. And while that information is specifically protected under attorney-client privilege, I think it is prudent for me to, at the very least, say that the letter and summary found that we followed all applicable laws and appropriate timelines as it related to the Title IX investigation. So you received that information. Because I mentioned that at our last meeting, I wanted our listening audience to hear that as well. And finally, my last item, and this is the only formal item I had on the agenda, so I guess it's saving the best for last. We have two new hires to the Huron Valley Schools that will be joining our team, our family, and we are really excited about these folks. Really, again, I'm just so proud of the fact that Huron Valley attracts such high quality and caliber candidates. I really believe it's a testament to the work that is happening within the Huron Valley Schools, the reputation that we have. People want to be here, they want to work here, they want to be engaged with our community. And so with that, I'm going to start off with Bob Brazier, our new principal of Spring Mills Elementary School. Welcome, Bob. So Bob has been an educator for 24 years in the Clarkston Community Schools. He's taught both at the elementary level as well as undergraduate classes at the university level. Bob has also served as an interim principal. He has a tremendous background in coaching teachers in neighboring districts. He has orchestrated a host of professional learning opportunities. He's launched and facilitated learning labs. And I mean, truly, you know, when I sat down with Bob for his interview, it was very clear to me that he is a passionate instructional leader. And I know that that's what we will get from Bob, and I know he will really add value to the entire Huron Valley Schools team. Bob, as I mentioned, served as an elementary teacher in Clarkston from 2000 to 2016, adjunct professor from 06 to 11 at Oakland University, curriculum coordinator in Clarkston Schools from 2016 to 2024, and then most recently as interim principal in Clarkston from 23 to 24. He has a master's degree from Michigan State University, and he has an educational specialist in progress at Arkansas State University. So without further ado, let's give Bob a nice Huron Valley warm welcome and invite him to the podium.
Good evening to the board. I probably don't need this microphone, but I'll use it. I want to thank everybody for what is an opportunity of a lifetime for me. I couldn't be more excited to be at the helm at Spring Mills Elementary. From the moment that I started in Huron Valley Schools, and Jeanette, I see your face because my first call was to Lori Lowe in Human Resources, to my final interview with Dr. Salah, I've been warmly welcomed. There's an unbelievable culture here that's obvious, and I'm proud to now be part of it. And in my role, I'm excited to uphold it. It's truly an honor to assume this position where I will serve and support students, staff, and families at Spring Mills Elementary. So I can't wait to get started. Go Sharks! Thank you.
Welcome, Bob. We're happy to have you. So next, I have the privilege to also welcome and congratulate Ryan Smith as the principal at Johnson Elementary School. And I just met his wife, Phelan. And here's a new fact that I learned during Ryan's interview. Phelan was a Johnson student. What are the chances of that? So it was destined to be. There you go. Ryan began his education and his career, in physical education, teaching 17 years. Over the past 2 years, Ryan has served as principal of Deke Elementary School in Swartz Creek Community Schools. Ryan's journey has afforded him the opportunity to work across a variety of contexts. He's been in Detroit Public Schools, he's been in Novi Public Schools, he's been in Swartz Creek Public Schools, and so he comes to us with a wealth of knowledge and experience, and he lives in the area, so he knows and understands our community. He started his career in physical education at Old Redford Academy. Then he spent from 2013 to 2022 in the Novi Community Schools, and then most recently as principal in Swartz Creek Community Schools. Ryan has his bachelor's degree from Western Michigan University, master's in Michigan State University, and a educational specialist degree from Wayne State University. And so let's invite Ryan to the podium and congratulate him on his new principalship. Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you, Dr. Salah. Thank you, board members. I could walk up here and just say ditto. Bob said it all. From the moment you meet people in this district, you get that family feel. It really is a destination, a place to be, as Dr. Salah said. Huron Valley has always been one of those districts that stood out to me because of the relationship-based foundation that they have with their community and with their students. And from the top on down, from everybody at central office, Dr. Salah, through the interview process, to meeting everybody at Johnson now, you really get that feel that it's a family. And that's something that Huron Valley and Johnson prides itself on. That's something that I pride myself on too, having married a Johnson Jaguar. So I truly believe in providing equitable opportunities for each and every child to get the education that they deserve to be successful academically and to develop and grow as people. And I see that in Huron Valley. And that's what I look forward to bringing myself, my passion, to provide to the Johnson Jaguar community and the Huron Valley. And I look forward to learning and growing with all of you. So with Jaguar pride, thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. I don't know if there are any questions from our board for our new hires or regarding any of the updates that I provided, but I'm happy to answer any of those questions, or I know Ryan and Bob are happy to answer any questions this evening.
Lindsay.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to make a comment and welcome these two young men to Huron Valley Schools. I always look forward to our administrators and the work they do for our kids. And certainly you both have come highly recommended, and I wish you well on your first tour of duty here. Again, welcome.
And that's coming from a former HVS administrator. So, yes, you were. Yes, you were. But any other comments? As board president, on behalf of the rest of the board, I would truly, truly welcome you to Huron Valley Schools. I, as a long-time resident of 3 graduates from the Huron Valley Schools, echo everything you say about our community and how special it is and how much pride we take in providing opportunities for all of our students. And we welcome you. Unquestionably, you made the right choice by being part of the Huron Valley team. Laura and I were kind of talking, Ryan, we're fellow Broncos also, so. And I know that we have a central administrator that is being honored tonight, and she's a Chippewa. But, and if you know anything about Broncos and Chippewas, but very proud of that one Chippewa that's in Huron Valley. She's done all right. Just imagine how well you would have done if you had gone to Western. Huh? Oh, geez, all right, well, I better turn off the mic right now. But I have 2 granddaughters that go to Johnson right now, so we'll see each other in different roles. So welcome again on behalf of the rest of the board and me personally as board president. And thank you for the update, Dr. Salah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, student leadership. I'm just, as well as student presentations, there won't be any student leadership tonight. I think it's important to note that we always look forward to our student leadership presentations because an integral part of our teaching, learning, and technology subcommittee is an opportunity for our students to participate. And we always look forward to not only their participation, but their insight to make this district the very best it possibly can be. So look forward to that. Next, association communications. Jennifer.
Good evening. I too had the opportunity to meet with Ryan and Bob last week and look forward to working with them and are very excited for their staff. Well, those summer weeks certainly have gone by quickly, and the new school year is only a few weeks away. This time in August, I'm always filled with excitement and anticipation for the school year ahead. I'm looking forward to welcoming back our educators, school staff, administrators, students, and families. The schools always feel a bit lonely without everyone walking the halls and that hum of staff and students. The start of the new year is a time for renewal. It's a chance to build upon the goals we had for last year and move forward with new ideas for this year. I am confident that together we'll be able to continue our important good work to support our students and our staff. One of my favorite parts of August is welcoming our new hires, as Dr. Salah talked about. As of today, we have over 40 educators who are really excited to join our HVS family. The majority of them are experienced educators who are making that choice to choose Huron Valley. Many of them live in the district and look forward to not only their short commute, but to live and work within our community. The TLT department will welcome these educators on August 21st and August 22nd, and we hope to see all of you at our ice cream social. Throughout the orientation, our new hires will learn about our district, spend time examining curriculum, data, and assessments, hear about our robust mentor-mentee program, and discuss that pertinent information that's needed for the first few weeks of school. I'm looking forward to meeting the new hires, especially the ones who are going to walk into a classroom for the very first time. These educators, they have a special place in my heart as their excitement bubbles over, along with a whole lot of worry and anticipation and a healthy dose of questions. Supporting these new hires as they begin the very beginning of their career is so important to me. In October, all of our new educators and their mentors will be right here as you can officially welcome them to Huron Valley at a board meeting. This upcoming school year, there's going to be a lot to do. I'm anticipating a roller coaster of a year as we navigate together closing Oak Valley Middle School, continuing to develop innovative programming, designing a new middle school, repurposing Oak Valley, determining staff placements for next year. And of course, we negotiate this year. Of course we do. Together, we will embrace these new challenges and opportunity. We will leverage the trust and commitment we have with each other and continue to collaborate as we wind our way through the year, keeping our educators and our students front and center in everything we do. So let's bring on the year. As they said, we're ready for it. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Next, board correspondence. Secretary Pastana, is there any board correspondence?
Nothing this evening.
Treasurer's report.
Nothing this evening.
Thank you. Reports from board committee, executive committee. We have not met since the last time I reported out. Our next meeting is September 10th. Next, TLT committee.
TLT has not met, but we are meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Finance and operations. Lindsay?
Yes, I'm going to read the notes. Help save Amy's voice here tonight. I attended the meeting and I was subbing for our Ms. Ryan. Also in attendance was our superintendent, our finance and operations committee, and representatives from TMP and Clark Construction. One of the consent agenda items tonight is we will be purchasing salt, just in case we get a heavy winter. Likewise, we discussed some unfinished business that we will finish up with tonight. That includes the furnishings for the Milford High School Media Center. Likewise, we'll go ahead with approve the Johnson Elementary parking lot construction. Some new business that we discussed was the water line agreements with Highland Township. We read some documents from Hannah and Hannah. Likewise, we were given some safety and security updates in the district. On other ones, we got the construction company shared with us some of the bond work that's being done. Likewise, we had an opportunity to discuss, I think it's the 8,000 series, regarding some administrative guidelines for that. Our Chief of Human Resources, Ms. Wenger, came and shared with us some of the new Title IX regulations, the new legislation. We had an update about the middle school steering committee update. Likewise, we discussed the transportation antenna that was needed. And tonight, we are also going to approve an emergency purchase. We need a new compressor at Muir Middle School, and we want to approve that tonight to get it in before school starts. That concludes the agenda items. We also talked about the transportation antenna that was going to be at the bus garage. So the next scheduled meeting that we have here is on September 11th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is Communications, Marketing, and Legislative Committee.
We have not met since our last meeting. We will be meeting tomorrow at 2:30 at the admin building. I already said 2:30. 2:30.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
Next on the agenda is public comments on action items. I do not have any public comments on action items. Seeing none, I do have 3 on non-action items. We're going to move that up to this section. I have 3 of them that I have citizens participation forms. If there is anyone else that would like to communicate, please fill out one of these forms and pass them up so that you can be recognized. We're going to start off with Tori Spano, followed by Vicki McDonald, and then Erica Skolitsky. So with that, Tori.
All right, I bet y'all are sick of seeing me, but I will never stop fighting for my children and all others. So tonight I have a few questions for you. I'm curious what your plans are to teach body safety and sexual assault safety and training for teachers in this school and the upcoming school's years. Clearly your past plans didn't work if so many children were able to be hurt and not even be able to realize that that's what was happening. What are you as a board going to do to make the school safer these upcoming years? As far as I've been told by other people and witnessed myself, there's about 3 of you that have any compassion to what has happened. There are numerous people not even believing that something has happened, posting all over social media because the school itself has not made a statement, neither in support of our children or just letting people in the district know what happened. What are you going to do better this school year so you don't fail any more children in the future? Thank you.
Next, Vicki McDonald.
Okay, I actually put in a FOIA request through the state of Michigan, and I got this really, really nicely put letter that they didn't have the information I required. How to go about doing it, the appeals process, very nice, excellent job. I then put in a FOIA request with Huron Valley. I wanted to have the email that my daughter sent to Mrs. Bentley, and then I wanted to know anybody that she forwarded on to, talked about it in an email, anything. Anytime she even quoted on it. I get the email. Nobody that she forwarded to. Over 15 months, she never once quoted it, said, damn, 15 months ago I got an email that said that a girl was touched. So she never forwarded this to anybody, not even mentioning that, nothing. So then I wrote back, what about the second part? And I get a reply that my FOIA request was granted, that all documents that existed were given to me. She never once talked to anybody, even the day before she retired, she never mentioned the email. Hard to believe, but okay, it's possible. Well, then I asked for, did she ever report? Is there any documentation? Did she ever report the alleged abuse to mandatory reporting in any entity? I get a reply right back. It says, I've already stated, as stated already, the FOIA request was granted and you received all documents that exist. I need a denial. By you guys' policy, it says on page 7 of 28 pages, you either grant the request, issue a written notice denying the request, or grant the request in part and a written notice of why, or if there was no papers there. I need that. I need to know that there was no other papers, not just we gave you what we had. I would like a statement that says we gave you what we had, or it was denied, or whatever. And there's appeals process. You're supposed to attach an appeals process. I got no appeals process. I got the email back. That's it. And then also, in this last little part, they said that I have to show ID to have any kind of business done with Huron Valley. I do not. Now, maybe to get into your secure areas, I do. But to do business with Huron Valley, I do not need to show my ID. Do not. And I know you're the new principal. I had 5 children go through.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, Erica. Thank you. This is public comment time. Erica?
Hi. You're probably sick of seeing me, just like you were sick of seeing anybody else. I just want you to know that my child is the only one left in Spring Mills. My daughter is now alone. All of her friends have transferred out and are getting homeschooled. She's on the football field right now, knowing that I'm here, hyperventilating. She gets more and more scared every day. Every child gets scared to go back to school. Every child does. Every parent gets nervous to have their child go back to school. None of you have any idea how I feel. I don't want any of my kids going to this school. My son is graduating this year. 4.0, every sport you can think of. You all know him. You all praise him. You all like him. How about you show some compassion for his sister? He's beginning to not like any of you. He just wants to graduate and get the heck out of Huron Valley, period. He doesn't want to be here anymore. He wants to be the best he can be so he can be better than all of you. But again, the football mom over there called me. That's why I walked out while you guys were talking, to let me know that my daughter is freaking out over there. She is being her mother for the next couple of minutes until I can get over there. She can't breathe. She's hyperventilating. She's scared to death to go back to the school. She's scared because she doesn't have teachers she can go to. She doesn't have anyone she can go to. You guys still have the same counselor there that didn't help her to begin with. The counselor that let this happen to other girls 15 months ago. The counselor that is, in my opinion, part of the cause that my daughter suffered from kindergarten until the 4th grade by getting sexually assaulted. It's not alleged. It happened to my child. I don't care who says alleged. It happened to my child. And you guys need to do something about it. I don't want to hear, oh, we did a background check. We did one. 5 minutes later, we found out he was charged with sexually assaulting an 11-year-old girl back in 2016. We were told by the board, a bunch of parents, overworked parents who got the wrong guy. We didn't get an apology from anyone stating that we didn't have the wrong guy, did we, Dr. Sala?
Next on the agenda is Section 4, Consent Agenda. We have Exhibits A1 through A4. Do I have a motion as it relates to the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Member Dodd, seconded by Member Ryan. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, could I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
I am a yes. Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
And Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, under unfinished business, board policy update, Exhibit B. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Member Pastana. Do I have a second? Second by Member Cotter. Any discussions, questions? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
I am a yes. Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
And Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next on the agenda is Media Center High School furnishing at Milford High School, bid pack 9. Do I have a motion?
I'll move that the Board of Education approve the Media Center High School furnishings MHS BP 9 as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Member Dodd, seconded by Member Dimick. Do we have any questions or comments? Seeing none, could I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Dodd?
Yep.
Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
I am a yes. Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Johnson Elementary parking lot, Exhibit D.
I move the Board of Education approve the Johnson Elementary parking lot as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll support that, and I think Mr. Smith will enjoy that too.
Motion made by Member Ryan, seconded by Member Cotter. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, could I have a roll call?
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
I am a yes. Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
And Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, D is petition for reinstatement, Exhibit E. May I have a motion? Member Cotter?
Yes, I recommend that the board approve the petition for reinstatement as was presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll support that.
Okay, motion made by Member Cotter, seconded by Member Pastana. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
I am a yes. Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
And Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, Section 6, new business, Dr. Salah, Coat, contracts. That's our central administrative team.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm honored and privileged this evening to bring the COAT contracts to the Board of Education for their consideration. The change to the contracts includes the extension of the terms specifically. And I just would be remiss if I didn't say that we have the hardest working, most competent and dedicated central office team that I've ever had the privilege and pleasure to work with. They are good people. They care about the children in the school district. They work hard every single day, in many instances, hours in the 12 and 14-hour range, and I'm really grateful for you guys, all the work that you do. So I'm asking for the board to approve the extension of their contracts as presented.
Before we have any questions, do I have a recommendation or a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the COAT contracts as presented in Exhibit F.
I second.
All right, motion made by Member Dimick, seconded by Member Grisomkowski. Any comments or questions? The only question or really comment is clarification. We had talked about COAT, and we're really good at acronyms, but these COAT contracts, what positions are they?
So they are the central office administrative team. They include Mr. Tavernier, our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching, Learning, and Technology, Mr. Van Gotham, our Assistant Superintendent of Business and Operations, Ms. Wenger, our Chief Human Resources Officer, and Ms. Rothler, our Director of Communications and Community Relations.
All right, thank you very much. Any other comments, questions, clarification? Could I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
I am a yes. Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
And Mr. Wiseman?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Next, going along with our central administrative contracts is the superintendent's contract. Our superintendent is responsible for performing the duties in accordance with all applicable laws to fulfill the rules, regulations, and goals established by our Board of Education, and to carry out the programs and policies of the board. The Board of Education has reviewed and modified its current contract as a result of the changes in the superintendent's evaluation law amended and passed into law by the State of Michigan legislature. The current base salary for 24-25 remains unchanged along with the length of the contract. Longevity steps, recognizing the number of years our superintendent has served, along with changes in district retirement contributions, are now reflected in this current contract. All other sections from his previous contract remain unchanged. I feel that this contract meets the changes required under the law. In addition, the contract, I believe, is structured in such a way that is competitive with other districts while reflecting the hard work, dedication, and outstanding leadership our superintendent displays on a daily basis. More importantly, it has been done in such a way to assist in retaining our superintendent for as long as possible. This contract was reviewed by not only myself, but by Member Grisomkowski as treasurer, and we worked together as it relates to this, and it's found within your package. With that all being said, I make a motion to approve the superintendent's contract as presented that is before you.
I will second that.
All right, motion made by myself and seconded by Treasurer Grisomkowski. Do we have any questions or comments as it relates to this? Yes, Member Cotter.
Yeah, just real quick, and Tom, I wanted to extend a thank you to you and to Amy, because I know to fulfill this contract, the amount of research that you had to do and checking in with other districts to see how much a superintendent costs nowadays. I appreciate that we were able to, you got that information and shared it with us to help our decision-making. Thank you to both of you.
Appreciate that. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, could I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
I am a yes. Motion passes.
Thank you. Next is Waterline Agreement, Highland Township. This is the first read, so I know Mr. Van Gothen is not able to attend tonight, so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Salah.
Thank you, Mr. President. So as you mentioned, this is a first read. We are asking for a board review this evening. Any questions that you might have, please share those with myself as well as Mr. Van Gotham. be happy to get answers for you. This is actually a partnership with Highland Township as well as local business owner Isaac Hanna, who has approached us with respect to putting in a water line that will make its way to the Highland Elementary property. As you know, we are constantly working to ensure that the appropriate filtration is in place there at Highland Elementary School. It's a labor of love. And there are occasions when wells go bad and we have to redig new wells, which costs in the $5,000s to $10,000s of thousands of dollars, and there's no guarantee that a well will even produce the desired outcome. So we have a situation here where we've been approached by a local business owner that wants to install a business at the corner of Johns and 59 in exchange for a small parcel of land on the northeast property where Highland Middle used to be, where a septic field will be placed and allow that business to operate for a duration of time. I'm told that the cost of the water line, for some context, is roughly $1 million. So that is what the benefit would be for the school district, and there would be no issues if we decide in the future to do something different with that property in terms of the township, because we've had conversations about an agreement with the township down the road about that Highland Middle School property. So the agreement should be in your package. As I mentioned, if you have any questions regarding the easement, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to answer any of those questions.
And we'll be bringing this to the board for a recommendation and a vote at the next board meeting, correct?
Correct.
Any questions right now? Please, as you review this, there's quite a bit of documentation there. We've already reviewed it in finance and operations, looked over it. I want to recognize the work that our business office has done along with our superintendent as it relates to this. It certainly provides some benefits, significant benefits to our students and staff at Highland. At least in a water standpoint, it's similar to what we've done with the Bogey Lake, where we've gone with the sanitary sewers, but now we've brought the water in so we can get out of the business of providing those things and tie it in partnership with our community. So please, if you have any questions, direct them to Dr. Salah or Mr. Van Gothen, and we'll bring this back as a action item at the next board meeting. Next on the agenda is a purchase as it relates to the Muir chiller compressor. Dr. Salah?
Thank you, Mr. President. Now, this is not technically an emergency purchase. Under board policy, an emergency purchase would be a purchase that I would authorize without board approval. And that would be in reference to a dangerous situation, and it could be any dollar amount where we needed to take immediate action. So for context purposes, this is not an emergency in that respect. However, it is critical as we have 2 cooling units at Muir Middle School. And basically the way that the cooling units work is they work in stages. So as the population in the building increases, the second unit kicks on in order to keep the entire population comfortable and cool. One of the units is 20 years old and has completely failed. Therefore, it is end of life, and we will be at Muir for at least the next 3 or 4 years. So we are recommending replacement of that failed chiller compressor at Muir Middle School. We're asking the board to approve up to $62,500 with a 12% contingency. This is a not to exceed amount because we have asked for multiple quotes. I actually do not expect it to be that $62,500, but out of cautiousness, we're asking for the higher amount just to ensure that we can get the work done, because we don't have another meeting until after school starts, and we want to be able to get that work done immediately.
So normally in something like this, we have a two-read and we approve it at the next board meeting. But because of the timeliness and the fact that we need to accelerate the installation of this to meet the needs of our students, we're asking for a motion to approve tonight.
Yeah, we don't want it to become an emergency purchase.
Exactly. Exactly. Any other questions? Yes, Laura?
So you mentioned that our lifespan for Muir is 3 to 5 years. What's the plan for this expensive chiller once we reach those 3 to 5 years? Can it be sold? Can it be repurposed?
We will, of course, pursue any avenue to sell for parts and/or, the entire compressor if possible. I'm not certain what the,
Market for-
market is or what the age expectancy is for mechanical units like this. However, I do know that we leave no stone unturned when it comes to the ability to salvage dollars. And so certainly if there's aftermarket, that is something we would definitely pursue.
And maybe even thinking of that as you're looking to purchase, if we need to spend a few extra dollars to get something that could have a life someplace else versus the one that's a little bit less, that then would be split up, just
Yeah.
asking that in the purchase process.
Absolutely, and we need to bear in mind also, we don't know exactly what Muir will be
Yeah.
afterwards,
Yeah.
so.
Good, thank you. Once again, we are looking for a motion to approve, and I think the comments that Ms. Dodd has made is certainly something that we need to continue to look at. I know that that was part of our discussion within finance and operations as it relates to the adaptability of this chiller and how it might be transported, similar to other things that we might be doing at Muir, and how it might be used at other buildings within the district down the road. So that's going to be a consistent look at as we might do some improvements or provide programming opportunities and equipment at Muir into the future. So we need to keep that in mind. So that being said, do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the purchase of the Muir chiller compressor.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Member Grisomkowski, seconded by Member Ryan. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, could I have a roll call?
Ms. Grisomkowski,
Yes.
Ms. Ryan,
Yes.
I am a yes. Ms. Cotter,
Yes.
Ms. Dodd,
Yes.
Mr. Dimick. Yes. And Mr. Wiseman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next on the agenda, that does not require action tonight, but is provided to you so that you can ask any further questions down the road. That is our 2024 bond service providers. Dr. Slaw?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Again, as we move into this new bond, the 2024 bond, first and foremost, again, thank you to our community for supporting the bond. The $361.3 million is, we're already in the midst of planning for the new middle school. As you'll remember back in, and we were talking about why go out for a May bond proposal, and it was so that we could capitalize on these important months, and we've already started the planning process, which is really important. So as part of all of that planning and the design work, we have an architect, we have a construction manager, and we have a technology consultant that works with us on these major projects in order to ensure that we make the right decisions and that we have the expertise in the fields, the respective fields, so that we maximize the taxpayer dollars. So what you have this evening is fees for the architectural service, the construction management service, and the technology consulting service. And I know we will have some questions, and we're happy to answer those. For a point of reference, when we bring this back for approval, we will ask you to vote on each one of these items individually. So we will ask you to take action on the architectural service as one agenda item, the construction manager as a separate agenda item, and then the technology consultant as a separate item as well. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out.
And this was also one of those items that we spent some time on in finance and operations, so not only can you reach out to Mr. Van Gothen, and I know Ms. Ryan has already reached out to him as it relates to some questions. Please don't hesitate to ask members of that committee along with our business leadership as it relates to that. We have used TMP and Clark within the 2019 bond issue with significant success, and have become very much embedded in our district and understands the needs of our district, and we've had a lot of opportunities as a Board of Education to work with them. I think the one thing that is a little bit different is that we've had representatives from Barton Mallow as our technology consultant, but they've been working under the umbrella of TMP. The difference here is that we will be approving as a separate contract Barton Mallow as our technology consultant. That doesn't increase the fees. Obviously, what we were doing was paying for those professional fees, passing that on to TMP, who's then reimbursing Barton Mallow. But what we want to do is work directly with Barton Mallow as it relates to the technology needs of the district. So I think in that particular case, Mr. Tavernier has been very much involved in that technology piece, so I can, with a lot of confidence, pass that, if you have any questions as it relates to the technology piece, directly on to John. So with that, that'll be brought back at our next board meeting for approval, as described by Dr. Salat. So next on the agenda is public comments on non-action items. I do not have any other further comments. Next, we have good and welfare. This is an opportunity for the Board of Education, along with our superintendent, to offer any comments or items as under good and welfare. Yes, Amy?
I'm going to apologize for my voice now, but I just wanted to say congratulations to Grace Stark. Our whole district was rooting for her. She was 5th in the Olympics this past weekend, and really just a stunning performance. She is somebody that I think we can continue to watch on not just the Olympic stage, but on the world stage. She will continue to run for, I believe, Adidas. And, you know, it's amazing to think that White Lake, Michigan was named so many times in Paris. So I just want to say congratulations to Grace, congratulations to her parents, Jim and Renee. You guys raised an outstanding human being. She is beyond, just beyond description. Her parents call her Amazing Grace, and there's much to be said about that. She represented not only her family, but she represented her community and her nation well. So congratulations, Grace Stark.
I will also make a comment I totally agree, but the outpouring of support that our community provided to Grace and her family, the number of yard signs we saw was absolutely incredible, and I had to chuckle because while she's a graduate of Lakeland High School and Huron Valley Schools, I saw a number of signs that were in yards of houses that were in other districts. So I thought that was fascinating. I surely believe that she represents why we're a AAA school district. So, Laura.
I was sent a flyer about, there's a person out in the community who has done a ton to help educate parents and kids about keeping themselves safe and opening lines of communication between parents and kids about bodily safety. And they do really wonderful work in the community. There is an event on Thursday, August 15th at 6 p.m. at the Suzanne Haskew Art Center in Milford. Doors open at 5:30. It's called Working Together to Keep Kids Safe, and it's a program for I'm looking to see who specifically it's for. Okay, go to the Shack website. I'm sure it's there. But I think it's an important time as we're getting back to school to help parents and kids really open those lines of communication about safety and about trusted adults and all of those sort of things. So that's going to be at the Shack, 5:30 on the 15th. I'm sure there's more information you can get by calling the Shack or looking into Art Connections LLC. Some folks there who are really passionate about making sure that those lines of communication are open. Also, I would like to thank all of the organizations out in the community who have been providing unique and interesting opportunities for our kids this summer when they have not been at school. So the learning has continued, the fun has continued, and it is really wonderful to see, I call them the Von Trapp children all over our town, who are in some sort of camp program or some sort of something or other, in dresses made of curtains. No, they're not made of curtains, but all over town, and our community is really embracing those kids being all over in their summer learning. So to all those organizations that stepped up to provide really great, positive activities for the kids this summer, thank you very much. As a mother of a 10-year-old, I appreciate it. And it's wonderful to see the kids having really, truly wonderful summers.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments? Dr. Slaa?
Yeah, just a quick comment about FOIA requests. So for Ms. Armstrong, Ms. Rothler would be happy to speak with you. I don't know if you're still here because I don't have my glasses on. Ms. Rothler would be happy to have a conversation with you over the phone or in person regarding the criteria for FOIA. I think it's important to note for those who are in our listening audience and watching this at home, FOIA requests are literal requests. The words that are used are what we will produce by law. We won't extrapolate outside of the specific parameters of the request that is mentioned. So it's always important to be detailed in terms of what you're requesting, because in many instances when we broaden the scope, it could encompass 10,000 communications, and we would be literally asking for payment of thousands of dollars in order to accomplish that amount of work. Second, when it comes to identification, we do require identification to collect a FOIA request. In many instances, people have to pay for a FOIA. We wouldn't want to hand over a packet of information to somebody that didn't actually make the FOIA request. So yes, we require identification to enter buildings, but we also require identification when we're handing over a request that somebody specific has made. So Ms. Armstrong, if you're out there, please don't hesitate to reach out to Ms. Rothler. She'd be happy to have a follow-up conversation with you about that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any other comments? I have one, and I usually don't get into conversations or retractions as it relates to individuals making comments. But I will say without question, all 7 of us as school board members cared very deeply about every child in this school district. And we believe in the safe and secure environment of this district and providing everything we possibly can for our students to keep them safe. And for anyone to suggest that some of us sitting here might not care is a misrepresentation of the people that represents our community as members of the Board of Education. We all have had children in this district, or we have children or grandchildren in this district presently. And for that accusation to be made is unwarranted, untrue, and will not be tolerated. So that's me speaking myself, but I will tell you, knowing these people up here, I will defend each and every one of them to the utmost as it relates to how much they care about every child in this district. With that being said, this meeting